Psalms 34, 19 through 20 says, the righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to their rescue each time. For the Lord protects the bones of the righteous, not one of them is broken. And today, I'm just grateful for life. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for all my family members. I'm grateful for opportunity. I'm grateful for everything that God is doing in my life, you know. In this particular verse, it's obviously a self-explanatory, but I shared it and I bookmarked it because it was like it's like a good reminder. Sometimes I save a lot of these verses just so that they could be sort of good reminders to everyone, that God never fails us. And he put a few interesting points inside there where he tells us, he says, the righteous person faces many troubles. So basically he's telling us that, like, listen, you could do all the good you want, you could be excellent, but don't be good because you think that it will cause you not to face any sort of drama or any sort of troubles, or that you won't go through things just because you was a righteous person. You know, our creator tells us that the righteous person will face many troubles. That means that you should understand that even if you decide to walk this journey of being a righteous person, that this come with trouble. You know, that's part of the sidecar that come along with that motorbike ride. You know, the troubles is something that you will have. He didn't say you will have one trouble or two trouble. He said you will have many troubles, right? But this is the most important thing that he tells us here throughout all of this, He says that, but the Lord comes to the rescue every time. So let me repeat this whole thing to you all, because I sort of want this to plant this in your spirit this morning like a seed. And this, we only have two persons in the room this morning, but for whoever replays this, I want to plant the seed inside you today. The righteous person faces many troubles, but the Lord comes to the rescue every time. So he reminds us and tells us that, listen, you can face many troubles as a righteous person. He ain't saying that you're not going to go through anything. But he reminds us that every time that you go through a trouble, every single time, the Lord comes to your rescue. So what does that do for us? What does that tell us? That tells us that we should not be afraid because we know help on the way. We know that the Lord is coming to our rescue. And you know how we know? Because he told us and because he does not lie. So he also tells us that the Lord protects the bones of the righteous. Not one of them is broken. So you know what he tells us too? Listen. The things that are permanent in our life, the things that we can't shift and we can't change, like your bones, you can't change them. They're yours. They something that he gave you from the beginning. So certain things that God has given you from the beginning, from creation, from he made you, he's not going to break them. You know what I mean? His word, he's not going to break them. The vows, what he's written over your life, he's not going to break them. You know? Anything that it isn't, I don't think the daughter means that it's just for physical bonds. I think it has to do more with the things that God had given you from you were born. What he had planted in your life as a righteous person, he's not going to break that promise. So no matter how hard things may seemingly get for you, just be reminded that God made a promise that he will not break. And that he, no matter how bad it may seem, he's coming to your rescue every single time. Not sometimes, every single time. So thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity to speak. I am Kerry, and I now relinquish my mic back to the moderator.